Audio Jungle.
Hey there, so the ZTE Max XL and the ZTE Blade Force are both phones that are available on Boost Mobile. The ZTE Max XL goes for $100, while the ZTE Blade Force goes for $80 right now. Sometimes you can get it on sale. Well, both phones, sometimes you can get them on sale. One of the main things about the ZTE Max XL is it's $100, so you're probably going to be getting better performance. But the same thing with the $80 phone. Same sort of specifications. I mean, sort of. Like, they both have 2 GB of RAM. They both have 16 gigs of space. So which one is right for you? Which one's faster? Which one's not faster? So, well, in this video, this is going to be showing you which ones are faster, because $80 versus $100, why not just save $20 and get one that's just a little bit smaller, 0.5 of an inch smaller, so instead of 6-inch screen, it's a 5.5-inch screen. So this video is just going to help you. So let's just head on over to talk about the specifications of each of them. So the ZTE Max XL has a 6-inch touchscreen display, fingerprint sensor. It has a 39,990 mAh battery, so almost 4,000 mAh. It has a 1.4 GHz octa-core processor, 2 GB of RAM, 16 GB of storage with an SD card slot up to 128 gigs of storage. It has Android 7.1.1 Nougat, 13 megapixel rear-facing camera, 5 megapixel front-facing camera. That's it. And it comes in the box with a USB-C cable, the charger, and everything else that you need for it. The ZTE Blade Force has a 5.5-inch touchscreen display with a 3,000 mAh battery, 1.4 GHz quad-core processor, 16 GB of space, 2 GB of RAM with also up to 128 GB card, Android 7.1.1 Nougat, 8 megapixel rear camera, 5 megapixel front, no fingerprint sensor on this. And in the box, of course, micro USB cable, the device, and just the basic stuff that comes included. So let's just start up with this test. So the first thing is, how fast does both phones turn on? So these are both charged enough to do these tests. They both have the same sort of apps on it. So let's just power these on. 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna just see which one takes the least time to turn on here. And as of right now, this one looks like it's darker than this one. I know it doesn't translate well on camera, but this one does look like it's darker than this one. I touched them both at the same time. The Android logo on this is bigger than this one. Okay, so for some reason, this one just turned on a little bit faster. Tap and hold them both. Oh, wrong password. So now they are both on, and as you can see, I didn't change up any of the home screens at all. They're both practically stock home screens. And I just want to start off with the basic tests. So let's open up the phone, camera, okay, they're both glitching out there. No, so this one has a dedicated app drawer, so I'm gonna have to find the calendar for this one. Over up here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna close this app just because, okay, apparently it didn't even open. So, calendar. They both opened up relatively the same time. Messages. They both opened up same time, and then Chrome, which they opened up relatively at the same time. Now, let's start up with some Google apps. Let us open up Maps. That one is faster than this one, which is still trucking along. Okay, there we go. YouTube. That one won. Play music, and I just closed it by mistake. I don't want that to open up right now. I'm swiping it away. Click. 3, 2. Play music. Okay, that one was faster than this one. We're gonna go to Google Play Movies and TV. That one won. From what I'm seeing, they're practically the same. So let's go swipe. You know, let me just go like this first and swipe all the way down. Clear all. I don't want any notifications right now. Phone. Okay, that one didn't have to refresh while that one did. We're gonna click cameras. They both had to refresh themselves in the memory. Messages. Okay, calendar go away. Chrome. Maps. YouTube. And play music. Okay. And movies and TV. So this one had to refresh it. It wasn't like a full refresh. So I can tell that they're both practically similar. There isn't much to them different. I mean, in general. So now I made a dedicated camera review for each of these phones. So if you want to watch the camera and how well that performs, I will link both those down below. But now what we're going to do is we're going to load up a YouTube test. Now again, the screen on this one's 1080p, the screen on this one's 720p. So I am going to look up the same thing, which is my YouTube channel where I uploaded my own stuff. I should probably do it. So let's make sure they're both 100%. Okay, so let's click this. All the way. Now, 3 dots. This one says 360 for some. I don't want to report it. This one says 360 for some reason. So we're going to change that to 720. And then this one also says 360, but that is 1080 for some reason. I don't know. It's weird. So let's start off with the Max XL. So, from what this sounds like, I think this one sounds louder for sure. This one is a little clearer with the not getting as loud, so it just gets clear. But this one wins the loudness test, if that's what we were doing. Now, everything on these things are fast. I hope I still have this. I have Geekbench up on both of these. Let's see if I do still have the score from both of these. Okay, so the ZTE Max XL has a score of 678 for the single core and 2602 for the multi-score. And on the Blade Force has a 699 single score and a 1900 multi-score. So multi-wise, this one's better, so you'll see better performance on the Max XL versus the Blade Force. Single core score, they're practically similar. It's like 20 off isn't much when it actually comes to usage. So if we see over here, this one's the Bolt, and this one's considered the Warp 8. So they must have just rebranded something in this one. This has 8 cores. This is a 4-core processor. And there's only one thing. The cluster 2 is 1.9 and then 1.4. And I don't know, there's just so much to go through. But if we go back just to benchmark or even to device, you can see what they're running. So this one has an Adreno 308, this one has a Adreno 505, so this one will be faster than this one. The PPI on this one's 367, the PPI in the Blade Force is 268. Now if we go down in the status bar and we go like this into the settings, let's scroll all the way down. They are both running Android 7.1.1 with November 1st security patch. And let's go to System Updates, update ZTE software. I will now show you that they're both running the up-to-date software for the devices, which they are. So there's no need to say that it wasn't up-to-date. These are up-to-date. They don't have the newest security patch. Android 7.1.2 or 1.1 on a 2 gig of RAM phone is good enough, because I don't think I would ever want to run an app in picture-in-picture mode on this phone. As for memory, they both have the same amount of memory. Forget which one shows more free and which one doesn't. It just depends on what's actually on the phone, which they both have the same thing. Now, they're both using approximately the same amount of memory. They both have the same amount of storage. They both accept 128 gig SD cards. So you can see 62 for 67. What else? There's no NFC on either of these, but the one cool thing about this one is that sweet fingerprint sensor. So let me click it. It's on. This one, no sweet fingerprint sensor. So so if you're hoping for faster login, I would definitely choose the one with the fingerprint sensor. Personally, I have a fingerprint sensor. I make sure all of my devices have fingerprint sensors, and I can't go without them. Mostly, I love fingerprint sensors. So as you can see over here also, let's just go through looking at the different design interfaces. So they both have the same style design interface, other than this swipe up gesture versus pressing it. Then over here, they're practically the same. And if you tap and hold, you get to the same interface, widgets, themes, and home. So the only main difference is how the launcher works by swiping up versus pressing the button. That's the only interface design change. There isn't much to the design interface other than that. But the look of the phone is definitely different. So the ZTE Max XL has a very nice screen, 5 megapixel front-facing camera, or 8 megapixel front-facing camera with the sensors and the earpiece, 1080p 6-inch display, and then they both have the same style buttons. Now on the back of the phone, on the ZTE Blade Force, there is an 8 megapixel camera and flash, and on the ZTE Max XL, there is the 13 megapixel with the fingerprint sensor. Now the speakers are in the same place, but I think the Max XL has a better speaker. On the Max XL, there is on the right side, there's a volume up and down and a textured fingerprint sensor. And on the Force, the Blade Force, there is a volume up and down and a fingerprint sensor. On the bottom of both devices, on this Max XL, there is a USB-C fast charge capable, and the microphone. And then on the Blade Force, there is the micro USB and the microphone. Now on the top of both of these, on the Max XL, there is a headphone jack, and on the Blade Force, there's also a headphone jack. Then they both have, the Max XL has a SIM card tray with a SIM card, nano SIM card, and a up to 128 gig SD card, which Sprint provides you the SIM card that you need. And then the same thing with the Blade Force. There is a SIM card slot to 128 gigs and a nano SIM card, which Sprint provides you. So all in all, these devices are very similar in terms of stuff. If you like the bigger phone, definitely go with the Max XL. But if you like the smaller phone and you don't care for the fingerprint sensor, definitely go with the Blade Force, because they're both excellent devices. I have no complaints about both of them. They're beautiful. Again, links to some of these videos will be down below if I talked about some of this stuff. They both have exceptional features to them. I love them all. Again, if you did like this video, please hit that subscribe button if it is red. Please make sure to hit that bell icon too. And just as always, enjoy the rest of your day.